I'm the president of Southern Silver Exploration Corporation. My name is Lawrence Page, and I want to tell you in a very brief way the genesis of the company, why we formed it, where it is exploring now, and what we expect the shareholders will benefit from investment in the company over the medium and long term. I've been in the exploration business since 1967. I've had some success. I've been involved in companies, 5 companies that have brought mines into production, and I've been involved in a multitude of companies that haven't brought mines into production. So it's a high risk, high reward situation, and people who invest with me and specifically in the Southern Silver Company can expect high rewards if we're lucky and we're successful and we deploy good science in finding good properties and exploring them well. The story I'd like to tell you today is the development of Southern Silver in Mexico, why we chose Mexico and in the southern United States, and that is the quest for silver, gold, and the byproducts, silver, lead, zinc. Obviously, the Faja de Plata belt in Mexico is very, very prolific. That's where all of the major silver mines have been found in North America over a number of years. Many years ago, and it would be about the beginning of 1990, we had a small company called Western Silver, and it had a specific property in Mexico in the state of Zacatecas, and that property had come to us through Kennecott, which had explored it, and there was one outcrop on the property. It was explored by other majors other than Kennecott, but nobody could ever make a fist of it and to see if a mine was found. Moving forward rather rapidly, ultimately enough money was raised, enough drilling was done to discover the fact that there was an open pit, very high grade silver and gold mine there, and enough money was raised to develop that mine into the large mine which it now is. It's the largest mine in Mexico, run by Corp. And the payday to the shareholders of Western Copper was $1.2 billion on the sale to Glamis, and then Glamis ultimately sold to Corp. Why I tell you that story is because that property needed a lot of exploration before a commercial ore body was found, and when that adventure was completed, we formed a company called Southern Silver, and we hoped to emulate the same success story that Western Silver had. To do that, we used the same infrastructure, the same people, the same lawyers, the same geologists, and we looked for an analog to the Penasquito property, and we believe we found it in the state of Durango. Our geologist, who is a Mexican national, said he'd been looking at the property for some 20 years. It was finally consolidated. It was made available to our company on reasonable terms, and we raised a couple of $1 million and began exploring it some 3-4 years ago. And we had some good success. It's called Cerro Las Minitas, which is Spanish for the hill of many mines. There are 2 producing small mines on the property, and we were developing the theory that there perhaps was a large ore body at depth under the Cerro, and then we essentially ran out of money when times turned tough. One of the ways that we've been able to explore over time is through relationships with major companies. In this case, a major company was Freeport-McMoRan Exploration Company, which is a subsidiary of Freeport-McMoRan, the largest copper miner in the world. And through relationships with our directors, their president formed the belief, and I believe he still has a belief, that there may well exist a large porphyry, copper, gold porphyry underlying the near-surface mines which are present, and underlying the silver, lead, zinc ore, which we have now discovered and blocked out. We have no 43-101 report yet, so if the BC Securities Commission is listening to this, I'm cautioning readers that this is not a compliant resource, and I will not say anything about a resource, except to say that I think that this is going to become a mine in the fullness of time. Principal shareholders of the company can be found in Europe, principally Germany. Very good support there, and we've been distributing information about our company and attending the shows in Germany over a number of years, and certainly management holds a substantial position. Now, what's happening at the present time is the cost of the property is $4 million. We paid approximately 50% of that, and Freeport is paying the balance of the money. Freeport is paying us progressively $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, up to about $800,000 as some consideration. But more importantly, Freeport is putting $25 million into the ground to earn a 70% working interest in the property, and their first earn-in is $5 million to earn a 51%. They have 3 years to do that, and they're well on their way to doing that. They have enthusiasm, they have competence, and we believe that the current round of drilling, which is taking place, is going to test at depth, and depths deeper than 700 meters, to see whether or not there is the porphyry copper gold underlying deposit. It's interesting, if I can revert again to the Miningscout property, that it started out as a silver and copper property with I believe 18,000 or 18 million ounces of gold and over 1 billion ounces of silver. But we are hearing through Gold Corp, although we don't know specific details, that deep holes that are now being drilled in the pit are encountering at depths the porphyry deposit that everybody always thought was there. If this is an analog, then it's early days for the Southern Silver Company, and shareholders who've been through this dreadful turmoil over the last 2 years, 3 years, perhaps more, will have a payday. One of the other properties in the company that we have spent a couple of $1 million on is in New Mexico. It's a very similar situation to the genesis of what may be the ore body at Cerro Las Minitas, silver, lead, zinc, which was mined by the predecessors of our company in the early 1900s, down to the water table. There are 6 mines on the property, and we have spent a couple of $1 million drilling it down to 1,000 feet. We farmed the property. Our optionee, we expect this year we'll do some deep drilling and hopefully have some success, which will lead to the development of that property into a mine. So, as I say, it's taken me some 45 years to be involved in 5 mines. I'd like to add a couple more to the grouping, and I think that we have a very good chance of doing it. if we can come out of the malaise of the market, and I believe we're doing that. If we spend somebody else's money wisely, then there's a payday for the Southern Silver shareholders. That's essentially the story of the Southern Silver Company. One thing that we try to do is to look after the administration of companies that are in the group. I have a company called Mannix Resource Group, which looks after everything that junior companies need, from geology to law to fundraising to corporate finance, etc. That way we try to spend a minimal amount of money on administration and a maximum amount of money on exploration. It seems to work. It's working for the Southern Silver Company and other companies in the group. And so that's the story. 2014 should be a wonderful year for the company, and I'd recommend that existing shareholders be patient, and future shareholders listen to our story. And if you want to invest some money in a speculative venture, this is the one for you. Thanks for listening to me.